Sometimes you don't have that person to just sit you down and say, no, that's not what you do. And you get yourself, that's what I don't like about all this little social media stuff. You post something and then everybody, yeah, girl, yeah, this and all this, yeah. Try to legitimize this nonsense track you on.
This was unlike any case Judge Lauren had ever seen before. Ms. Osborne claimed that her mother hid the identity of her father without giving any tangible reason for doing so. She was in court with her aunt to find out the real identity of her father. The case began with Ms. Osborne saying,
Ms. Osborne, you have brought your mother to court because you claim she lied to you about the identity of your biological father. You are here to prove Billy Jack Fitzmaurice is your dad. You and your aunt petitioned the court for paternity tests to finally prove the truth. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, tell me why any mother would do that to their child. I would have lost my mind if I were to be in Ms. Osborne's shoes. When her mom broke the mind-blowing news to her, she ran to her aunt immediately and asked her if her mother was telling the truth.
Savannah was very upset because she thought that Billy, my brother, was not her father, and I assured her that I believe 100% that Billy is her father.
You've never had a doubt?
I've never had a doubt.
So until you were 12 years old, Ms. Osborne, you were told this was your father?
Yes,
You even
Your Honor.
lived with his family?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you are looking for the worst mom on earth, Ms. Osborne's mom fits that description without breaking a sweat. Since she claimed that she never argued with the family or tried to change her daughter's mind, then who has been playing the role of the father all this while?
For 12 years, who were you saying was her biological father?
I didn't say who was her father.
But she's living with his family.
Yes, and at the time, his family took her in. I was young, and I knew that they would have a good life for her, and they stepped up and asked to take her, and I knew that they could provide a better life for her at that time because I was young and naive and stupid.
Now that is one confession Ms. Osborne is never going to forget. With the look on her face, you could tell she felt betrayed by her mother. And if we are being honest, you really can't blame her for feeling that way. She was furious that she had to wait so long to find out the truth about her real father.
Because I just want to know the truth of who my father is. I shouldn't have to wait until I was 12 years old to figure this out. I should have known that there was not a possibility before I grew attached to my father and grew a bond with my whole family.
Your mom kind of dropped a bomb on you at 12 years old. Wow, I mean, when you hear that, and you had to live with this now for 8 years. You're 20 now.
8 years now.
At least the judge got her to look at her mother because it was starting to feel like she was never going to. Ms. Osborne faced her mother. She decided to tell her how she really felt growing up, not knowing her father's real identity. This was how that boat sailed.
I was confused. I was 12 years old. I was raised around my dad's family for 12 years. And then all of a sudden, they could be just some strangers that I'm living with.
They will never be strangers.
Of course they won't. They'll always be my family now. But what if they never were?
I'm sorry, I truly am, but I'm here today to try to make it right for you. So you will know 100% if he's your father.
Isn't that just beautiful to listen to? Her mother actually felt bad for keeping such a huge secret from her. Ms. Osborne's mom was not the only one who got emotional about the whole situation. Her aunt also felt very sad when her mom told her she never wanted to hurt her.
You have tears in your eyes as you stand next to
because
the young woman you believe is your niece.
Yes, Savannah is my niece, and I love her dearly. And we were always told from day one from Donna that Savannah was our I call her our baby, but our niece. The way we met Donna was under difficult circumstances. My brother, he had a wild life.
Well, he isn't here to defend himself, but Ms. Osborne's mom told the judge that she never for once told the man they believed was the biological father that he was actually her father. She claimed that he took it upon himself and assumed that Ms. Osborne was his daughter.
Billy Jack is the one that took it upon himself to assume that Savannah was his when I told him I was pregnant. I had told both men that I was pregnant, and they took it upon themselves to believe if they was the father or not.
That's not true. That's not true.
It is true.
She told me as well that Savannah was my brother's daughter.
Those words never came out of my mouth.
Yes, they did.
If there is one thing you can appreciate about her mother, it's the fact that she is a very honest woman. The judge then asked Ms. Osborne if she had ever met the man her mom claimed to be her real dad. This was the reply she gave to the judge.
Do not have a connection with him whatsoever. He is the father of my sister and my brothers, but I wouldn't want that to be my father. I want Billy to be my father because that's who I have always known to be my father. And it's gonna really hurt if it's otherwise.
So your sister, you say it was fathered by the other man.
That's what I was told, but I also believe that my dad is her dad.
Unlike Ms. Osborne, her sister believed that the other guy was her father. She claimed that she had never met the man Ms. Osborne believed to be her father, and for that reason alone, there was no way she could believe he could be her father.
I believe that the other guy is my father because, I've never met Billy Jack. I've never even seen him. I've just heard stories of his crimes and crazy lifestyle. I have a connection, a relationship with my father or the other guy and
You do?
And his family, yeah.
Who do you believe Savannah's biological father is?
I'm not sure.
Well, with all the similarities going on and the situation of both ladies having different fathers, I think it's time we see what the DNA results have to say about the whole situation. I hope you're ready because here it comes.
Ms. Brooks and Jasmine are not related. Ms. Brooke and Savannah are related.
I love you, Savannah, so much. And I'm so happy that it came out the way you wanted it. And I love you, Jasmine.
Now, this wasn't her first time coming to the paternity court. She had been here before. Guess what? The initial reason that brought her here is the same damn reason that she's here again. Some people don't just learn. This was how their mystery in court started.
Ms. Kavanaugh, you appeared in our courtroom previously and tested 2 men as potential fathers of your 1-month-old son, Malcolm.
Yes, Your Honor.
Unfortunately, neither turned out to be his biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, today, you believe Malcolm's biological father is a good friend of your mother's, the defendant, Mr. Spence.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Kavanaugh was no good girl, trust me. It was written all over her face. She had been quite mischievous. This time around, she didn't just get intimate with any random guy. She got intimate with her mom's friend. She has some serious balls, trust me.
It is bad. I started calling him up asking for rides, to the grocery store, to get stuff from my house. And subconsciously, I was try to seduce him. I was wearing inappropriate things around him.
And why were you doing this?
In all honesty, I was drinking a lot. And I don't know if I did it for a challenge or...
The things Ms. Kavanaugh said would make a priest want to go to confession. They were beyond this world, believe me. Mr. Sense, on the other hand, didn't sound convincing when defending himself. Do you just randomly sleep with your friend's daughter? Hell no.
It was like she said, came over a couple of times. She was in inappropriate gear. First time, I shunned it off. Second time, I said, hey, watch yourself. Third time, it's starting to look good. Fourth time, lapse in judgment, and here we are today.
Wow, so how many times were you intimate with her?
Once.
Listening to everything that pops out of both their mouths was really uncomfortable. But let's proceed, shall we? There was 1-month-old kid involved. These two really do need some counseling.
I see a little bit, but from being in court previously, I found out that you can't always go on looks at all.
Found out you were pregnant. Did Mr. Spence's name come to mind immediately?
No, Your Honor. It really was I thought Mr. Bowles was the dad. Well, after the court, I started thinking, well...
Moving on. When Ms. Kavanaugh found out she was pregnant, Mr. Spence's name did not pop up in her head as the potential father. Damn. Apparently she wasn't just fooling around with him. I would definitely give her an ass whooping if she were my child.
He could be a possibility that Mr. Spence is the father. And I texted him and I asked him, when was the last time we had sex? He told me it was the end of October.
And when was Malcolm born?
He was born July 9th.
So when you do the math on that, that's
Yes, Your Honor.
about the window of conception.
Yes, Your Honor.
I think we need to hear from your mother. Ma'am, please stand. Welcome back, Ms. Kavanaugh.
Ms. Kavanaugh's mom took the stand, and oh boy, did she have a lot to say about her daughter and her so-called friend. She said she noticed the eye contact they gave each other when they met. Deep down in her heart, she knew something was gonna go down.
I questioned each of them. They each denied that anything had happened. Then basically how I found out, one day Megan was angry with me and we had kind of a little tiff or whatever. It was kind of a big tiff, but when we did, she blurted out that you were right. And I did sleep with Ken.
Really?
He eventually did come clean and tell me the truth. And he told me the same story that he told you today, Your Honor.
The courtroom was filled with nothing short of shock. The most insane revelations started to surface, and these two had a lot of explaining to do. Another epic blockbuster takes the stage. Mr. Spencer happens to be married. I knew this guy had some secrets. He was willing to be the father, but he sure had doubts.
Doubt is, first of all, it was only one.
The window of conception that she described.
I'm
Baby
there.
born in July.
I'm there, yeah.
So you
I'm in
within
that
the
period.
window of conception.
I'm in
You
that
don't
period.
dispute that.
That I do not dispute.
All
That's
right.
why I'm here.
Right.
That is why I'm here.
Do you have any knowledge as to whether or not she was sleeping with other people during
Yes.
that time?
Yes, she told me.
Well, the suspense is finally over, and the hassle of who the dad of their child is about to be revealed. It's been a bumpy and funny ride with Mr. Spence and Ms. Kavanaugh. All eyes are on the judge as she unleashes the truth.
Mr. Spence, you are not his father.
Okay.
Miss Kavanaugh, we back here again. I know this isn't where you wanted to be.
I never wanted to be this person, Your Honor.
You know what, look. Yes, you've done some things you're not proud of.
Can't.
Moving on, as I say in this courtroom all the time.
Their love was hanging by a thread. The agitated plaintiff was fed up with the defendant's acts, and trust me, he was in no way ready to shape up. He had reasons to suspect the paternity of the child strongly. This was how the case began.
Miss Sand, you opened your case today in hopes of saving your relationship with the defendant. You say the only reason he is denying your 4-month-old son, Jade, is because he's an insecure man. If the defendant doesn't change his ways after you prove he is the father, then the relationship is over. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
It was a love or burst situation between Ms. Sand and Mr. Hundley, with both parties fighting almost every damn day. Ms. Sand wasn't having it at all. Her face showed she was running out of patience, and if he didn't fix up, she was gonna bolt.
Yes, Your Honor. Everything is actually on the line. I'm tired of being accused of cheating. I'm tired of him saying that it's not my son. I'm tired of just everything.
So this is really impacting your relationship.
It is.
What is it like in your home right now?
We fight probably like 3-4 times every week out of the week.
Constant fighting.
Constantly.
So all because of this paternity secret.
Yes.
That crack in their love sequel started to unveil 1 month after they got together. Hold up, just 1 month? That was pretty fast. Baby mama was a busybody on the phone talking to different men, and that sure didn't sit well with Mr. Hundley. And so the drama begins.
And so this paternity secret, does it come up in these arguments?
It does, constantly.
Yeah.
This is what we see. This is what paternity secrets do to relationships. Somehow they're woven in every argument, every dysfunction, everything. You could be arguing about who paid the light bill, and the next thing you know that baby ain't mine either. That's what happened.
Well, it all started with a text message, Your Honor.
Ouch! She drops a shell-breaking message in one of her conversations with her random men. She tells the guy she's single and isn't in any relationships. I bet you're itching to see Mr. Hundley's reaction. Trust me, it's priceless.
I'm the same person.
What is
It was the
solo
same
dolo?
person. Single. Basically, you're single.
So the man asked you about your relationship status and you told him you were single,
Yes.
but you were really in a relationship with Mr. Hundley.
Yes.
We talked about that situation. Like when it happened, we got in our grown man, grown woman, we talked the situation out. But then we got new phones after this. She get a message from the same number.
It was not the same
It was
number.
the same
It wasn't
number.
even the same
She
person.
say it's not.
It wasn't even the same
It was the
person.
same.
Now Mr. Hundley was already fed up. I mean, which normal guy won't be? They go on to change their phones because it's already a situation where nobody trusts anybody. The same guy she used to text and cheat with hits her up again. Something ain't right here.
I was like, okay, so how did he text you? Like, how did you get your number now? You got a new phone. She talking about, I don't know. That's her excuse to me. She don't know how you got it.
Was it the same guy? Was it the same guy, Miss Sand?
No,
Were
it
you
was not,
cheating
Your Honor.
again?
It was
No,
the
it
same
was not,
guy.
Your Honor.
So why was it the same number?
It wasn't the same number, Your
Who
Honor.
was it then?
It was somebody that I used to hang out with before Jade and I.
A man?
Yes, ma'am.
How did he get the new phone?
It wasn't a new phone. It was a new phone, but it was not a new number.
The pressure is building, and all Mr. Hundley can feel at this moment is pain. The juice of the drama starts to unfold, and he finds out that his woman sneaks out at night to get intimate with the guy she's been texting.
I would like to see it.
right.
You can step over to your exhibit.
All right. So this is New Year's, right? And I want to say we was playing beer pong. We was enjoying ourselves, like having a good time. Like she's telling me she's going to bed. Like, and I like, okay, but I'm still playing beer pong, so I'm gonna stay down there for a little minute. So I did that. She went upstairs. I'm thinking she upstairs asleep. So I'm like, all right. So then we go. I go upstairs after I'm done playing. I'll tell everybody I am going to bed.
The air in the courtroom grew shorter, and the news of the baby came to trump all that. Mr. Handley didn't receive the news well, and you wouldn't blame him honestly. There was no atom of trust, and he was not going to be a dad to a kid he wasn't sure of. Brace yourself because you're about to be shocked again.
So what I want to be clear about is, Mr. Hundley, your position is, I've left a similar bruise in that area when we were intimate. Was she intimate with somebody else that night?
Yes, man.
And I know 100% I didn't sleep with anyone.
First off, and your ex be coming over there.
No, he don't.
Yes,
No, they all
definitely
kept,
do.
no.
Her ex come over there a lot.
No, he does not.
Yes, do.
He,
Her people mess with him.
he came over there a couple times.
He was there for the pregnancy. He was there for child support. He was there for the emotional balance. And Ms. Hundley slams him with the "you are not the dad" phrase. Now that's a lot of contradiction. What exactly is going on?
Like, yeah, she told me.
We had gotten
She
into it.
told you?
She told me I'm not the father.
She told you you aren't the father?
Yes, ma'am.
He basically like accused me of cheating. He told me he was leaving. Like I was already depressed from being pregnant. So I already like just felt emotional in some type of way about it. And I had said something out of anger, yes.
What did she say?
She flat told me I'm not the dad. She talking about, she said something about leaving.
Well, let's draw the curtains on the whole charade. The moment of truth is finally here, and the DNA results are about to reveal who the real dad is. Are you ready? Because I am. Let's find out the truth, shall we?
Mr. Hundley, you are the father. You are the father.
Man, yeah, this is the best feeling, man. You can't even explain it. Man, yeah, that's my little homie, man. Man.
You set out to break a cycle.
These high school sweethearts were for sure not having it with each other anymore, bouncing from cheating to pathological liars, and now there's a baby involved. You can bet there's a lot of drama circled around these guys. The case began like this.
Miss Shands, you appear in court today because you are devastated that your first love and the person you lost your virginity to is now denying your 15-month-old son, Aiden. You say once you prove to the defendant that he is the father, you hope you two can finally be a family. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
As you would imagine, Judge Lauren wasn't going to go easy on these guys. They looked like kids. You could feel in the tone of her voice that she couldn't wait to give these two high school sweethearts some spanking.
But claim to know who did. Is this correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
I've read through the court file, and this is a classic case of babies having babies. I'm gonna start with you, Ms. Shands. Tell the court, what do you want to accomplish today?
Today, I would like to accomplish that Amir is the father of my child. He has been in my baby life ever since my baby has been 3 months. He's my first love, my first kiss, my first everything.
Now, the love story between Mr. Hollis and Ms. Shands started when they were in middle school. Things seemed pretty sweet back then, but hold up, things took a twisted turn when he found out she was messing around with some of his friends. Oops.
Like it just after middle school, like after when we hit high school, everything was going straight like her freshman year. But after that, like when we had got into that one argument, we broke up, and then that was that. And she started messing with my homeboy, and she started messing with multiple people.
Your Honor, me and his was close friends once before.
They was, but they
She used to come back and tell me that Mr. Amir, he was messing with one of my friends.
Mr. Hollis was no saint either. He was also messing about with some of her friends. Sneaky little teenagers, wouldn't you say? Ms. Shands said they weren't so smart at the time and didn't really know what they were doing because they were young. Well, Judge Lauren slammed her straight up, and trust me, she wasn't nice.
I don't know.
And we both were young at the time. We both were young. So
Both y'all young now?
yeah, we still are young. We still are young. But I thought it was cool to go mess with one of his friends because he had slept with one of mine. We both had made a mistake.
No.
We both made a mistake.
That's not how it is.
All right.
This is really what went on.
In no time, the courtroom turned into a kids' assembly with both Mr. Hollis and Ms. Shands chattering, "No, I didn't sleep with your best friend. No, he was my best friend. No, he wasn't your best friend." Judge Lauren was boiling like she was made of lava.
Be just out playing a sport, learning a craft. This just sounds about silly. So you have revenge sex with one of his friends. And did you use protection?
No.
And then how many times did you have sex with this friend of his?
Multiple times.
Multiple times. But were you also still being intimate with Mr. Hollis?
Well, we
had broke up when me and his friend had an affair. We wasn't together.
Now, Ms. Shantz finds out she's pregnant. Ain't no surprise there. She picks up her phone and beeps Mr. Hollis's friend. Ring, 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 I'm pregnant. Surprising thing, he was pretty excited about the baby. But here's the plot twist. She also tells Mr. Hollis she's pregnant too.
You find out you're pregnant. You tell the other guy first. What was his response?
Well, he was happy. He was happy.
And so you also tell Mr. Hollis?
I told him, like, not as soon as I got pregnant. He ended up finding out on the street. But I ended up telling him. I ended up telling him. And I guess he ended up telling his mom as well. And I was telling them that it's a possibility.
Fast forward to when the baby is born. Mr. Hollis is nowhere to be found. Not at the hospital, not anywhere. Guess who shows up? The best friend. Mr. Hollis then goes on to say he didn't even know she was pregnant or she went into labor. When he found out, she wouldn't let him be around her. I smell something fishy.
Miss Shantz, when you give birth, who was with you?
The friend was with me when Aiden was born.
In the hospital?
In the hospital. In labor.
In labor.
And my mom, I sent my mom there because I knew there was a possibility that my son could be the dad as well. He favored my son when he was born.
So wait, and so Mr. Hollis, you just didn't want to be there, or you felt like you weren't invited?
I wasn't never invited. Like, anything I ever found out about the baby, I found out by myself. Like,
Judge Lauren couldn't hide her irritation from these kids no more. It was turning into a reality show for kids, and the judge was not going to have any of that in her courtroom. Things just kept going from bad to worse.
Why are you now saying Mr. Hollis is the baby's father?
Because, like, my baby had more futures than the other guy.
Yes, he did.
He looked
I'm just
nothing
trying
like
to
the
protect
other
my
guy
son.
at all.
I FaceTimed her and told her that it looked like I said, Aiden looks like Amir.
And what did she say, Mom?
It's a possibility.
After all the back and forth of kids giving birth to kids, the moment of truth is finally here. It's time we draw the curtains on these kids' funny behaviors and find out the truth. Take a seat back and focus your eyes on the judge.
Mr. Hollis, you are not the father. I see tears in your eyes, Ms. Shantz, because I know how desperately you wanted Mr. Hollis to be Aiden's biological father. Their families formed a bond with your son, but unfortunately now, we know the truth. You're a beautiful young woman.